how powerful is this, do you think, in the Cowboys locker room, that Micah's gone and everybody seems to think that that's the end of the Dallas Cowboys 2025 season? How do you think this does position Dallas for that opener against Philadelphia and beyond, Troy?
Well, I said it during our preseason game that the leverage that I felt Micah had with the Cowboys was the simple fact that I didn't think they could win without him. And that's a bold statement, I realize, because players do get hurt, and then to imply that the season is over is not fair to those other guys on the team. But I just think that he is such a disruptive player, and for a defense that had their issues and they're going through some changes, to not have a central figure like Micah Parsons that offenses have to worry about is game changing for an offense coming into play against them. I think it was going to be challenging for them in a lot of ways regardless, but now even more so. And I think that of course, that adds more pressure to Dak Prescott in this offense to be able to score points and keep the ball away from the opposing teams. But, I do think this defense that was going to have some concerns going in, those become even more pronounced without a dominant pass rusher like Micah is.
And then let's flip to Green Bay, Troy, because it's not like these prideful athletes and Packers need a vote of confidence from the front office, right? But what a way to hear from those in management to say, we believe now's the time.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and that to me alone is worth the trade. And I wonder what you think.
Yeah,
Troy.
No, I'm a big fan of the Packers and Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst and what he's been able to do. And I know last year when the season ended, based on 2 years ago, what they were able to do with a road playoff win against the Cowboys, and then it just didn't really translate into much last year. And as Brian said, the time is now to start putting themselves in a position to win championships. And so this acquisition, it certainly sends a message throughout the entire locker room that, hey, if you had any doubts to begin with, this should eliminate those as far as what we're here for, and what this organization is about. So I like the Packers a lot. That division, of course, is extremely challenging. But with all the changes that have occurred, you look at Minnesota and the fact that J.J. McCarthy is making his first start this next Monday night, and what's that going to look like for him? The fact that the Lions, who have really dominated the division the last few years, and now they lose both coordinators. The Bears are certainly somewhat in a rebuilding mode. So I think when you look at it as to where the Packers are, obviously competitive division, but I like them and where they're at right now as they go into this year. And then you add a Micah Parsons to that defense and what he's capable of doing, and a defense that I think was really on the rise last year and did a lot of really positive things. I think it looks really good, bodes well for them. And that now, again, we go back to will Micah play this week?
Yeah.
And if not, when will he play? So that's a big question mark, of course.
Last one for you on this subject matter, Troy, before we move on. And it's the third rail question, if you don't mind, that Cowboys fans are wondering about. And that is that at this stage, that Jerry and the rest of the Jones family and those in ownership are more concerned about the Cowboys as a brand and a business than winning another championship. And I wonder, and how this trade is the latest indication of that. How does that hit you? What do you say to fans who say something like that?
Well, I'm not sure I can really say much, Rich, to be honest with you, because I saw Jerry talk about the fact that the having the Cowboys as a discussion point is meaningful to him, and if people aren't talking about the Cowboys, then he'll do things to stir it up. So he kind of walked into that and has given the impression that supersedes winning, and I think in some ways I'm sure that Jerry and the Jones family and everyone is tired of talking about the fact that they haven't been to a championship game, let alone a Super Bowl in 30 years. But so then when you deflect that, then essentially the valuation of your franchise or the attention and the exposure or the drama or the, as Jerry said, the fact that the Cowboys are a soap opera 365 days a year, that then becomes the scoreboard instead of winning and losing on the field. And do I think that winning is not important to Jerry Jones? Not at all. I think Jerry wants to win more than anything else, and I think that he's very exhausted of the fact that this team, although they've won a lot of regular season games, as you know, it is remarkable how much they've won in the regular season over the last 20-25 years, but yet they've only won 4 playoff games, and that's hard to stomach.